Hello everyone, and welcome to Dusty's Leatherworks. My name is Bill, and we're going to be doing a basic flower today. We're going to be going over tooling it with the basic toolkit. This one here just happens to be from Tandy Leather. You only have a few tools in it. And I'm going to be doing that because I teach a leather crafting class here in Wyoming. And students will start out with a very simple basic set of tools. I don't recommend the ones you get off Amazon where you get 20 different tools, stamps and all kinds of stuff for $40. The reason I don't is that they're not very good. A lot of times they break. You'll only use a couple of tools out of it, and then you're going to be buying new tools anyway. This Tandy Leather toolkit has some of your basics: a cedar, a beveler. Here, this is a beveler, camouflage tool, a background tool, a Pear shader, a veiner, and the swivel knife. The only thing I would suggest you getting extra in a basic toolkit would be another beveler. This one is a coarse beveler, a checkered beveler. The beveler that comes in the kit is a smooth beveler. So let's start with the basic flower. Okay, the first thing you need to do when you go to do this leather, you need to spray a little water on it, or you can use a sponge. You can take a sponge, wipe on there, get it somewhat wet. You need to let it soak in for a minute before you start the actual work. If you don't let it kind of soak in, when you try to use your tools, the leather won't accept the tooling very well, and your swivel knife will not cut through the leather very well. And also, when you first get your swivel knife, you should take some jeweler's rouge and take your swivel knife and you place it on there and you pull it across the jeweler's rouge and flip it over and do the same thing over. And do each side a couple of times, and that will polish and sharpen the edge of your swivel knife, allowing you to have a nice clean cut, and it'll move smoothly through the leather. Now, when you use the swivel knife, you want to have your index finger in the saddle, your middle finger, and your thumb on the barrel of the swivel knife. And when you cut, you kind of want to have it tilted away from your body. And you'll put it in there, and I usually start at the tip of a flower. And then I just pull it along down through there, and I usually will let up and have kind of as I pull it up, the cut will get shallower as I'm pulling the blade up out of the leather. We'll do the next side. Okay. I usually do not use the swivel knife on the center of a flower. So what we'll do now is we're going to move over to the beveler, and we're going to use the smooth beveler. And when you're beveling, first what you want to do is you have the point of the beveler. And you'll put the point of the beveler into the groove that you've cut into the leather. You'll have the rest of the bevel will go over whatever you're pushing down into the background. As an example, it will be like this on the leather. This is the background, this is what's in front of the background. And I'll start next to the petal that is in front of this petal. When you're doing it, you may make a mistake, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, what a lot of the new people doing this, how theirs look. As you can see, you can definitely see lines on the beveling. And if you do that, don't worry, it's not a big mistake or a big problem. You can easily go back across it and you will fix that. It'll smooth it right out and it'll look nice. You want to bring the two bevels together where it comes out to a point and looks nice out there. Now right here, this petal is going to be in front of that one. You still want to maintain the same position of the bevel where you're pushing down what's behind the top petal here. So what we'll do is we'll go over it like this. What you're doing by doing that is you're creating depth in the leather work. As you can see there, now it looks like this petal is in front of that one. Okay. What I normally will do is use the textured beveler, and I will go over these like here, 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 because I want to create more depth and shadow on there. So okay, now that we've done that, the next thing we want to use is the Pear tool, Pear shader. And what we're going to do on this is we're going to use this to kind of go along the edge of the petal to create some depth and movement to the petal. And the way you use this one is you don't necessarily use the whole part of it. You'll kind of tilt it a little bit in order to get what we're looking for. Now as you can see, now we have a little depth in there, and it has the illusion that the petal has some waves and little motion in it. Okay, now that we have that finished, we're going to move back to, we're going to use this texture beveler again, and I want to go around the center of that flower, and I kind of leave some little choppiness in there, and I do that because it starts to give you like little vein, almost looking like you have veins radiating out from the center of the flower. Okay, now that we're done with that, we're going to move to the camouflage tool. Camouflage tool has these little lines in it, and what you want to do is you'll lean it. You want to have a pretty good lean to the tool like that, and then we're going to tap it ever so slightly out and kind of, you know, a little bit of the pattern here of the flower. Doesn't take much to get it to go into the flower petals, into the leather. Okay, so there we go. We have our basic flower at this point, and you can see the lines radiating out. So they kind of blended in with the textured beveler that we used around that center. And now what I'll do next is I'm going to use the seed tool. And what I'll do is I'm going to start with angling that tool out at a pretty good angle. And as you go around it, you do the outside perimeter. The reason you kind of want to angle it is it will give you a dome effect to the center of the flower. Now I'm going to go back around again, and I'm not going to angle it quite as much. I don't normally go all the way around into the middle. I'll leave the very center open, and if I do anything, it'll just be one little seed in the middle. So at this point, we're pretty much done with the tooling on that flower. I do like to put what's called decorative cuts in, and that's where you'll use a swivel knife, and you'll just kind of put some nice little cuts in the leaf of the petal of the flower, and you'll just kind of give it a little bit of motion by putting them in there. I typically try to keep the cuts with kind of how I think the petals, the movement of the petal. And there again, I start deeper with the swivel knife in the leather, and I fade it out to where it's shallower. And that is almost a complete flower. The last thing I'll do is I'll use a veiner and I'll just kind of put it right in the corner of those petals. And I keep the curve of the veiner tool in line with the curve of the petal. All we're trying to do is just create like a little ripple where those petals are kind of coming together. And that's the making of a basic flower with a basic beginner set of tools. Now, if you stay tuned, in the next video we're going to turn this basic flower into something a little more that you might want to show off to your friends and your family. Also, if you'll leave comments down below on any project you'd like to see me make, the ones that gets the most comments or the most thumbs up, that's one we'll try to make. And in the comments down below, you will find my email, and if you'll email me if you would like to have a copy of this pattern that I used here, and the pattern that I send you will have multiple flower patterns on it. It'll be for free just for subscribing, hitting the like button, and sending me a comment to my email. Till next time, have a great day.